guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm riding this. This is the Hero Karizma XMR, and from a previous Hero Honda Karizma ZMR owner, I am disappointed because this bike has nothing of the charisma in it, but still it's called Karizma. Anyways, this is priced at rupees 2.13 lakhs because the price has increased by rupees 7,000. Introductory pricing has gone, but this is still a very impressive motorcycle. Firstly, it gets all LED lights. So this is obviously the DRL dual projector setup, and it has an ambient sensor which actually turns on the headlight at night. However, I can do it for you right now so you can see that. That is the light of this motorcycle. And then the Hero logo is right there. The visor is adjustable. Yeah, you can adjust the visor like this, move it up and down. That's kind of cool by 30 mm, but for that you have to actually press this button. It happens with two hands, but somehow I've jammed this button right now and it has jammed forever. So quality levels could be better now. It's come out. Thankfully, it's a fully fed motorcycle which does look quite nice in terms of design. So Hero has pulled out a very nice looking motorcycle after a really long time, because in terms of full fairing, well, the Karizma ZMR was kind of weird honestly, because the R15 was the one with the smooth design, but this one is also quite smooth. Says XMR here, full fairing of course, says Hero right there. In fact, this is the very first Hero motorcycle to get dual channel ABS. It's also the first Hero motorcycle to get a steel trellis frame. It's also the first Hero motorcycle to get DOHC, yes, DOHC engine. So there is this sort of copper casing right here, and you can see the trellis frame. Quality is good, some uneven panel gaps here and there, and of course you can see there is some gapping here, but all LED lights, yeah, LED indicators, everything is LED on this motorcycle, which is quite good. But cost cutting has been done because these folks are regular folks, no USDs here. The Extreme actually gets USDs, so I don't know why they haven't given USDs here, because these folks don't do the job at all. I mean, it doesn't do the job as well. There you can see the horn, the radiator. This is of course liquid cooled 300 mm front disc here, and the tire size happens to be 110 section at the front. Yeah, they are really wide tires. The older Karizma had really chin to mintu tires. The bike became a little silent now. So from the side, it does look quite nice. It's quite tall. Ground clearance is 160 mm, which is decent enough. Seat height is 810 mm, which is more oriented towards tall riders, I would say. And that is the heart of the matter. It's a 210cc engine. I don't know why this weird number, and then they have also stuck it right there, which they really did not have to. Rear tire size is wider at 140 section, but box section swing arm kind of cheap. 230 mm disc at the rear. I actually put my hand here and the exhaust is like pumping out air. Monoshock suspension, and it says GRS right there, which honestly I also don't know what it means. It's actually a good looking motorcycle. It just needs a tail tidy, of course. That is the brake light. Again, everything is LED. You've got grab rails, but Hero has done a Yamaha here because the pillion kind of sits on the second floor. That's really high, and you can actually open this for documents, of course, but who really cares? Overall design is actually quite nice of this motorcycle. I really very much like it. The tank size is 11 liters and it can take E20 fuel. Clip-on bars right here. Mirrors are placed here on the fairing, which means they will definitely vibrate, and some buttons here. This is actually to browse through the screen, so there you get a lot of information: trip meter, average fuel efficiency, navigation, which is turn by turn, which works with Bluetooth connectivity, which is obviously there. So from your phone, obviously it's going to navigate. Service due, battery, voltage, and all that is obviously given here. That's the odometer, clock, time, and all. Gear position indicator, fuel meter, tachometer, and temperature meter. Telltale lights. Side stand indicator is also given, but does not get a main stand, which my Karizma had got. So that's one down for the XMR. Unfortunately, fast light switch here. This is for the indicator. The horn, it's loud, but it's not that great. Clutch seems light here, of course. Hazard lights are given, and then let me turn it off. Easy to turn it on there. Okay, you have to keep it pressed. It's not a one touch starter. I think the bike is kind of out of fuel right now, but this is a LCD screen, not a TFT screen. The fonts and all could be better. Okay, let me rev it. Yeah, I don't like the tachometer either, so that's something which could be better. Seat seems decently comfortable, but honestly, how is it to ride? Because that's the most important thing, right, of a motorcycle, because this doesn't have the soul of the original Karizma. Let's start riding. Before that, let me show you the key of this motorcycle. Typical key, but somebody actually put tape on it. I don't know why, because of which when I removed it, it's become very sticky. Yikes. Let's put the key back inside, and as soon as I turn on the motorcycle, it does a full swipe up and it says, "Ride your legend." I don't believe that. And here you have a USB charging socket, but not a USB-C. Even Apple is giving USB-C now. Come on, Hero, don't give us old technology right there. Let's turn on the motorcycle. Oh, no clutch lock, and straight away into first gear. Somebody sparked a C-Class right there, C300D. That's a fast car. Anyways, off we go. This bike doesn't have much power now, so I can actually redline it straight away. Yeah, you can feel a bit of vibes and buzz and all that happening in the higher end of the rev range. Doesn't feel like the Karizma of old to ride, because I actually had a ZMR, the old Hero Honda Karizma ZMR, which was full fed. A little bit of an ugly duckling because the fairing wasn't that smooth as it is now, of course. And that was like 10-15 years back. Obviously now that motorcycle wouldn't be as good to ride with time. Bikes have become so much better with better tech as well. But I definitely miss USD Folks here. USD Folks would be such a nice addition, of course, without a doubt. Performance seems adequate enough. The only thing is, the old Karizma had a good low end punch, wasn't really peppy in the mid and top end of the rev range, and used to redline at just 8,500 RPM. This one redlines around 10,000 RPM, so obviously it's better in the sense that firstly it's a DOHC engine, single cylinder, liquid cooled and all that. That time the Karizma ZMR had fuel injection, which was like a big deal, whereas all my friends had carb bikes, so I used to flaunt my fuel injection right there. That does not sound right, but anyways, this motorcycle has DOHC, which is a first for Hero MotoCorp. Obviously this is liquid cooled, 210cc motorcycle. So I don't know why they did not go 250cc in terms of displacement, because displacement has come down when compared to the ZMA and the ZMR, which had 223cc. But there is replacement for displacement known as technology, not always a turbocharger. And in terms of performance, it's much better, because the old Karizma produced a lot less. This one produces 25.5 horsepower and 20.4 Newton meters of torque, which is, by the way, the most by far in this segment, which is under 220cc. But then real competition probably comes from the R15, because that is by far the best motorcycle you can buy if you're looking to buy something around or under 250cc. Around the corners doesn't inspire you to ride as hard and fast as it looks. So yes, in terms of sporty riding, this is not the motorcycle. And then gearing is also quite short. Yeah, short geared. But let's stop right here. Okay, braking performance is good, but it doesn't feel that reassuring in terms of braking performance. First gear, let's rev and let's launch. I'm actually doing clutchless shifts, and let me tell you that I hit a forced neutral right from first to second. So yeah, clutchless doesn't work that well here. Firstly, it doesn't have the low end grind. In fact, power delivery feels quite flat at around 6,500-7,000 RPM. After that, it wakes up and gives you a nice top end rush. Kind of feels like a KTM engine, but this motorcycle has a characteristic of a Triumph Speed 400, not of a KTM. So there's a mismatch in terms of how the engine has been calibrated for a motorcycle whose cycle parts are more calibrated for comfort and probably for touring or going the long haul. So this is not really R15 sporty, even though it kind of looks sporty. It's more, say, a Bajaj Pulsar sort of a riding position. Like, okay, ergonomics are good and sorted. It doesn't put any pressure on your hands, wrists and back and nothing of that sort. So yeah, it's a nice riding position for sure. Quite comfortable on motorcycle in that regard. Suspension is also well calibrated. It's not as soft and cushy as the old Karizma. However, it definitely feels very compliant. But only thing is now the front forks are chintu mintu. Like, they're so thin. They could be better, of course. And the engine doesn't sound really nice till you hit that 7,000 RPM, 7,500 RPM magic mark, where the engine actually gets up and gives you a frantic power delivery. That's when it sounds better, of course. Otherwise, low end performance isn't great, and low end sound is also typical of a single cylinder motorcycle. And then obviously it's got slipper clutch, which means that clutchless shifts are decent, but when you aggressively downshift, you don't have to worry. Only thing is ABS now wakes up and becomes overactive, and then you end up taking a little bit longer distance to stop this motorcycle. So ride and all is good, but this is not a corner carver. It's not a very dynamic motorcycle, and it's not as soft as the original Karizma, so it's not really a cushy motorcycle with a good low end punch. So in terms of the way the cycle parts have been done, like I'm telling you, it's a steel trellis frame, and then it's got not such a great suspension at the front. The telescopic forks are like kind of thin, but on all honesty, it's an easy motorcycle to ride. It's comfortable enough, vibrations are in check. Single cylinder motorcycle, obviously it will vibrate. I'm riding in 6 gear, gearbox is slick in terms of shifts. Clutch is also on the lighter side, quite a lot of wind blast. This does not really help, honestly, even though I've put it at the maximum position right now. It doesn't really help, which actually brings me to the price of this motorcycle. 2.13 crores on road Mumbai is the price of this particular motorcycle, increased by rupees 7,000 recently because the introductory pricing is no longer valid. In terms of the competition, it competes with the rupees 200, sorry, RS200, Pulsar RS200, which is priced rupees 3,000 cheaper. And the other competition is the Suzuki Gixxer SF250. This motorcycle has a similar character to the Gixxer and the Pulsar actually, and that one costs rupees 15,000 more because Japanese guys will obviously have to take money back to Japan now, so they'll charge you more so that they can obviously earn more in terms of how much they can take back as R&D costs. So that's one thing you have to keep in mind. And with the R15, this one is just 3,000 lesser in terms of pricing when compared to the R15, but the R15 has so many variants that the top variant of the R15 costs 20,000 rupees more because MotoGP edition and all, nah? So they have to fund their MotoGP operations by taking money from you for a better color option, which is kind of weird. I just wish the braking bite would be better. It's okay, it's not great, but it gets the job done. This bike is all about getting the job done, nothing exceptional here. The bike does feel refined enough at idle. Into first gear, I'll tell you what it does in each gear, and off we go. First gear, I think something 40, 47. Second gear, 65, 66. Why not 69? Third gear, 87. Fourth gear, it will get past 100 kilometers per hour, which isn't that quick, honestly. 110-ish. And then fifth gear, it will cross 125 or something. Top speed is roughly around. Where is this dude coming from? That's the reason why some people are called chapris, because they come out from anywhere. What are you doing, dude? And I think this will do a top speed of 130, 140 kilometers per hour. But beyond 100 now, the progress slows, and beyond 120, the progress slows so much now that you can't even go for a top speed attempt because it's just too freaking slow, a motorcycle. Once you get past 120 kilometers per hour, and then best is when you're riding it around 110 kilometers per hour, where the engine actually feels relaxed enough. Beyond that, the engine kind of feels uneasy, and then the vibes kick in plenty, and then doesn't feel as refined and smooth as you would expect it to be. But then it's a single cylinder engine. So like I was telling you, this is a motorcycle which is average in most of the things, but the pricing is what makes it super value for money. Want to know how soft the suspension is? Look at that. That's soft, okay? But then it's okay, it's fine. It gets the job done. It does not in any way feel like the old Karizma, so it's not giving me any down memory lane vibes at all. But as an original Karizma owner, would I buy this bike? Absolutely not. But I'm sure this will attract a lot of people who are looking for something which is sporty, comfortable and easy to use. Only thing is the character of this bike simply does not match. This is a motorcycle which looks sporty, but it also has a sporty engine, but doesn't ride sporty at all. So there's a huge mismatch in that regard. Brakes, yeah, they're so sad. Can you hear the radiator? Yeah, it becomes super active to ensure that the bike does not heat, and they've done a good job in terms of heat dissipation. But yes, it does heat, not a lot as such, but yeah, it's quite manageable. And then taking a U-turn and all is not difficult because the bike kind of feels light, around 164 kgs, and off we go. That's it, struggle starts right now. Yeah, a lot of wind blast you can encounter on this particular motorcycle, and that's natural considering that this is so chintum into the visor. Even when it's on its maximum position now, it really does not help at all. Yeah, it could have been so much better, but I love going down the gears because of the slipper clutch working really nicely here. Only thing is the ABS is just super duper oversensitive. See, the front is super soft, but actually the rear is also soft, but obviously you can adjust the monoshock. But still, it's a softish suspension setup which doesn't gel well with the engine character here at all. And now let's see how is it to change lanes. It's actually good enough. Tires do have decent amount of grip, but the bike does not feel tight enough. It doesn't feel very sharp, nimble, agile or something you would love to ride fast. It's more like, okay, ride it slowly and aram se. And here, let's see what it does. yeah, 134. I think it will do 140 with a little bit more struggle. My old Karizma never did these kind of speeds, 190, 120, and it's dead. But then obviously that was 15 years back. Now I expect Hero to launch motorcycles which will at least do maybe probably 200 kilometers per hour. Jokes aside, I think this is a good motorcycle for the city and occasional highway runs as well. Just don't expect it to go through corners like an R15 and you are sorted. If you like this vlog, make sure to downshift. Yeah, Faisal, downshift. If you like this vlog, make sure to give the thumbs up. That's a like button and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video. So, bye-bye. That's 0 to 100 for you, and the mileage of this bike is around 30 kilometers per liter with a 11 liter fuel tank. Realistic range of around 270-300 on a full tank of fuel depending on your riding style.